Headed to Oklahoma. Should be a good time. Never been. None of us called Oklahoma.
On this video, we're headed to Western Oklahoma. Scott Inselman contacted us and wanted us to come out.
Scott showed us nothing but hospitality. He had a 1,000-yard gong range, and we unpacked our stuff. We got our rifles out and make sure they were still on, and got a game plan going for the next day.
Got it.
Well, the first morning that we were out there, Scott put us on some dogs just like he'd promised.
The terrain there is really hilly and a lot of knolls, a lot of knobs. On the first stand we get out there, and I believe Keith was using the RSS3 from Reese Outdoors.
About 5 minutes into it, this first dog pops up on this knoll, and we're watching him. He sits down,
And so we both get on and watch it. Then all of a sudden, the guys, they mentioned that there's two more off to the left. So we got 3 coyotes. Me and Keith are trying to coordinate together so we can get more than one dog at one time. But it just wasn't happening. They didn't want to play our little game. They wanted to play their own game. Every time one would open up, the other one, he would get behind one. So we just couldn't quite make it happen at the same time.
We called that one in, and we were waiting for him to come on in, and we really wanted to, hold off and try to get the other 2, but it just wasn't going to happen.
But finally, we get one dog to commit off some mouse squeaks. He gets downwind. I'm trying to take the dog on the right, which is him. Keith's trying to take the dog on the left, but they play hide and seek again.
You want to wait? Yes, wait. I got the
So this guy gets a little far. I'm not sure exactly what he saw or seen or heard that he didn't like, but he made a 180 and headed right back to that knoll that he started out on.
he got back to that knoll and popped back up there, and me and Jason hadn't really talked about it, but both of us was on him.
I think he was like 325 out, and Keith and Jason both took a shot on him. I think Jason ended up shooting him, but
Dude, we shot at the same time.
It's kind of funny that this happened the way it did because we couldn't communicate with each other, but we shot at the exact same time.
we had to look on the film because we didn't know exactly who shot him, but it was dead, so that's all that really matters.
On the second hunt, we go, 500 yards, maybe
Not much.
maybe 800 yards?
Just over the hill.
Yep. And Scott said he had another spot. This setup was pretty neat and unique. It had a lot of draws in it.
Canyon looked like.
Yeah, canyon-like, and then it goes out to like a big open field and the bottom, right?
Yeah, you can see for miles. It looked like it was pretty neat scenery out there.
I was on the RSS4 from Reese Outdoors, and the reason I was on that one was because it was so windy.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of winds that day, and that's where these coyotes were at, was down in these gullies, these draws. That's where they're hiding, getting up out of that wind, and it was cold.
And here, we don't even hardly get out when the wind blows like that. We had 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts.
In Missouri, when we got doubles or we got them coming in, we can see them for a while. I mean, it's a whole different type of calling, so it's definitely experience.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Jason was doing some calling, and I had my head in the clouds. I was actually checking my phone, and one or the other said, "Here comes a coyote." And
Yeah, he popped up at that goalie pretty fast.
Yeah.
and it was a spur moment, like now kind of thing. And I don't know, I had my head in my lap. I couldn't do nothing about it. But Jason was able to get up fast.
Right as soon as he got back over the knoll, right before he got out of our sight, I was able to make it just a quick running shot, and he just rolled. Got lucky on that one. It happens, and got another dog down. So it was a great hunt.
This last hunt, we were there for quite a while and didn't see anything. We were all pretty tired. We never really got over being tired from the trip down there.
We actually called several different calls. Nothing produced, nothing wanted to show up.
We were there for 40, 45 minutes. We hadn't seen nothing. So we started talking back and forth, joking around. Like I said, we were all exhausted. So
Actually kind of got bored, and I was playing around my RSS-6 bird distress, and wasn't even really trying to call anything. I was just playing around.
Lo and behold, I kind of looked to the right, and I see a couple silhouettes, and I asked the guys, I said, I think I see some dogs. What are those?
they were on the horizon, and they were probably 300 or 400 yards away. I mean, they were way over there. So if we would have took a shot, it would have been shooting over the hill.
These dogs popped up, and they went from our right around to our left and put them straight in front of us.
We watched them for quite a while, it seemed like. I mean, they ran back and forth. We did what we could to call them, and they were staying up on that hillside. They didn't really want anything to do with coming on down.
They'd
really know why.
They'd run that ridge top back and forth, but never would come
down.
Back and forth. All we needed to come down was like another 20, 30 yards, if that.
Just to get away from the horizon there.
And they presented themselves on a shot, both of them.
Yeah.
At the same time, so we could have got that double, but we just couldn't get them to come down.
We were raised, if you got a skyline or something you can't see what's behind it, we're not going to take that shot. A coyote is just not worth, somebody's livestock being killed or hit somebody's car, somebody's house. We're just not going to do that and take that shot. A coyote's just not worth it.
They were probably 300 or 400 yards out, too far. Being on that ridge line, we're not going to shoot over where we can't see. So we didn't take the shot, but they dipped back over the ridge line, and me and Keith took off down the hill and back up the other side to see if we get a shot, and they were already gone. So we weren't able to get a shot off on them, but we feel like we did the right thing by waiting and not shooting, up into the sky where we couldn't really see.
It was a great hunt. Scott put us on a lot of coyotes, a lot of great area. His hospitality was fantastic.
Yeah.
Never met the guy, and he invited us right in, had dinner made for us.
He couldn't have been any more nice to us. I mean, he had a plot book already, lined out for us. He had everything circled and where we could go, and kind of had our trip mapped out.
And he does guided hunts. He does hogs, deer, coyotes, whatever you want to hunt. He'll put you on them. So make sure you contact Scott.